Alright guys, so today I'm going to talk about men's value and women's value. And guys, one thing I've realized is a lot of guys have to come in terms with the reality of whatever is happening right now in the dating world. You know, women don't behave like the 80s, 70s, 60s, 50s, 40s, 30s, 20s type of women anymore. Okay, and I think it's very ignorant, right, or naive to feel that those types of women are the ones that predominantly exist, because guys, they're not. Okay, and the unfair part is men have still been told to act like traditional men. Okay, provide, protect, and all that. But do you actually find many traditional women nowadays? Most women are not traditional, guys. If you actually give them long time, they'll actually show you they're not traditional women. They'll just show you what they're in for. But guys, do you really blame them? I mean, women are born with value. Okay, and the value I'm talking about, that what gives them the value is the cookie between their legs, guys. Now, if men were, let me say, men from birth woke up with $10,000 in their account, guys, do you think we would still be the ones doing the chasing? Just think about it. Okay, if men woke up with $10,000 in account, because there are two things that are very valuable: money and time. So if men woke up with either 10,000 in their account every morning, right? You walk down the streets and you see women chasing you. You see women wanting to flock around you, right? That's because you have that value. But women are born with it. The cookie between their legs, guys. That's just it. Okay? They're born with it. You see, and how you know that most women use their cookie to show their value is ask them what else they can do apart from something related to anything sexual. I try to tell some of my female friends, right? But when I mean female friends, y'all know it's not platonic female friends. So I try to tell them that try and be more valuable to a guy, right? Try to bring more value to the table. Try to bring more value about yourself than just what you have between your legs. That's why I tell most women. So be domesticated, have good characters, have good attitude, okay, bring peace and respect, okay, be industrious, be resourceful, be hardworking. But how many of these women want that? How many of these women want that kind of fair trade? But you see, I think guys have to understand that women are not wired like us, okay? And women don't necessarily know men, and I think that's one of the problems these days, and that's why there are a lot of disagreements and conflicts. But men know women because right from time we've been designed to having to know women. Why? Because we're the ones that do the approaching, we're the ones that do the initiating, we're the ones that set up dates, we're the ones that pay for the dates, we're the ones that for some that carry them shopping, we're the ones doing it. So we get to lead, and because we're leading, we have to know who we're leading, okay? But women don't necessarily nowadays do. It wasn't like that before. No, man. And to an extent, it's because of the advent of social media. Okay, guys. social media has rigged the game. Okay, social media has basically destroyed dating and relationship and marriages. And I give you a case in point, because the lessons, right, and orientations that women carry along now isn't what they were trained with from birth, is what they learned on social media, right? And let's take social media as, okay, let's take the attention, right, women get from social media. Let's equate it to how many shows and stations we had before when television came out. Okay, yes, when television came out, there were only like one or two stations, and they were only showing limited things. So that means in a day, you could only watch limited programs on one or two stations, right? That's how it was back then. Women didn't have all these options with social media, okay? So they could either, meet with somebody around that vicinity. I mean, right now, a woman can be in Australia, know somebody in Brazil, okay? It's giving them that platform. So it has opened the world to different people, right? But if before the lady in Australia was just in Australia, it's only people around a community that she would know, around where she lives that she will know, or around where she works, or around where she schools or where she travels to. Those are all the only people she will know. She won't know a stranger that lives so far away and stuff. And now, that's it. But if you look at TV stations now, now there are multiple channels, and on those channels there are multiple programs. That's how it is for ladies nowadays, guys. You have to understand this. So for women, there are multiple social media platforms. There's Instagram, there's Snapchat, there's TikTok, there's WeChat, there's Bumble, dating apps. There's so many platforms for women now. So women don't necessarily have to rely on only knowing people within their vicinity alone. They can get to reach out and everything. And even on their Snapchat, they're having 20 messages a day. Instagram, they're having 50 messages a day. Facebook, they're having 30 messages a day. TikTok, they're having 20 messages a day. Guys, if you add that up, 20 plus, another 20 plus, another 30 plus, another 50, I think that's about 120 messages in a day. So what does that do? The attention span for one guy has reduced. Let's use the case in point before, when there were only two TV stations with only limited programs, right? You would stay on that channel and watch that program from the beginning to the end, But now, with so many stations on the channel, with so many stations, different channels, different packages, different programs, you could easily just be switching between different channels. Now you just switch to one channel. Nah, I don't like this. Switch to the other one. Nah, I don't like this. Switch to the other one. Nah, I don't like this. Switch. I'm done with the dish. Just be switching. Okay, guys, that's how it is now. So they can easily just come up on Instagram, answer a few that they're attracted to, and they just switch to Snapchat. That's why you notice that the women that probably you were speaking to for like 3 days, you've just noticed that after a while you've stopped speaking to them. You've lost that contact, you've lost that touch, because the attention span on you is now less. Okay, so that attention span that before they would actually give you that time and attention and that energy towards you guys is no longer there. Okay, that attention span is now is now nothing, guys. Okay, because imagine when you're on TikTok alone, right? You could be scrolling through different channels, right? Through different TikTok pages, just be scrolling and scrolling. So attention span on one, you just scroll. Now let's give an example. Let's say you save one TikTok video, right? And you've had a bunch saved up, right? And then maybe they're just too much. You just want to delete them, right? You go back to where you have them saved, and then you now remember, oh, okay, there's this funny video I saved. You watch it again, probably laugh, right? That's how it is. So after that initial period where they gave you that attention, okay, and now the attention span has switched, it has been cut short. It's now someone else receiving that attention. There may be a time that she just gets back to you and just says, oh, hi stranger, or something like that, right? So guys, just don't be bottled, okay? Just take it as it is. That's just what it is now, guys. And guys, another thing is, okay, women primarily see men as success objects, okay, while men see women as sex objects primarily, right? And that's why for men and women's level of attraction is different, okay? So a man is okay guys, haven't you noticed sometimes you will see a guy, okay, maybe decently dressed, but isn't good looking, and you'll be like, how did he end up with this dime? Okay, a woman that is like 9/10, and if you look at him, he's probably like a 4. You wonder, how did he end up with that? Guys, don't be upset. That's just how it is, because the level of attraction is different. For guys, it's more about the physical attraction to women, right? And that's why we see them as sex objects primarily, right? Because that's what the attraction is about. And that's why you see women with fake hairs, fake eyelashes, makeup, fake this, probably do a nose job or something, just to appear more beautiful, because that's what guys are attracted to. And guys, on the other hand, right, that's what I'm always emphasizing, right, guys, stay on your grind. Guys, believe me, for all my youngies out there, stay on your grind. There's nothing more attractive than a man who's doing very well for himself. And apart from doing well for himself, he's taking care of his family, he's taking care of himself, he's investing, because that's what they're attracted to, because they are success, they see men as success objects, okay? So guys, regardless of how good looking you are, how well dressed you are, and everything, yes, that's I'm not saying you should go out looking ratchet, okay, looking like someone who just came off the street or something like that. That's not what I'm saying. Look good, right? But guys, stay on the hustle, stay on the grind, because that's just hypergamy, guys. And use hypergamy against women. That's just what you have to do. Because guys, if you're a real one, right, let me tell you what happens to real, open, honest guys. They're tagged as nice guys, right? And they carry last. That's just it, guys. You see, the moment you show them so much love, you push them to be better, they just treat you badly, because they're rather the one who can manipulate them, probably coerce them to do whatever. Okay, guys. So that's why I just say, guys, just stay on your grind. When the cookie comes up, take the cookie and keep it moving. Okay, because our value, we have to work for it. Okay, they are born with the value, they are born with it, but we have to work for ours. Okay, we have to work for our value, we have to work to be successful. Okay, and that success, it's like sugar for them, and they just become attracted to the success. Just as you see a dime And you know, a lot of guys are chasing after her. Why? Because men are attracted to the physical, the appearance, and then if you work on yourself, you stay on your grind, you hustle, you invest right, you save, guys, it's just be like you just be like sugar, and you keep attracting them. Okay, guys, so look good, work on your grind, take care of yourself, take care of your family, do what you have to do. Guys, our value is different from theirs. They were born with it. We have to build up. Okay, peace, guys.